What's up, YouTube? It's Coach Corey, and today I want to go over the top community-made Brawl Stars maps of the past month. Now, community-made maps are a big part of Brawl Stars. You saw last update had 15 community-made maps put into the game, so I want to take the chance as much as I can to highlight the best community-made maps. And if you're wondering how you can get your maps in the game, the best place is to go on Reddit and submit them and try and get them to have a lot of upvotes, because you got to get them upvoted so people see them and the developers see them. So today I want to highlight some of the most upvoted ones on Reddit from the past month. You can see I just typed in map and filtered for the past month, and any non-related map stuff I filtered out so you guys don't have to see it. So we're going to go over what I think are the best ones, but first, let me know down below what type of map, what game mode do you think most needs a new map? Personally, I kind of want to see more Brawl Ball maps. I think Brawl Ball is a really fun mode. Definitely were a good amount in the last update, but I still think there's a lot of different directions we can go with it, and I want to see more creativity. Like Cory Fields had a lot of creativity. We have seen a little bit of problems with the water, though, but besides the point, today we're going over maps, so let's get right into it. First map, Tombstone, Arizona, ready to brawl in a town. Look at this map. This map is very, very different from any map we have in the game so far. Every single part of the map is totally different, which would be really cool. The one thing I might be afraid of in this map is it might be very random based, very RNG based. If you're trying to play this in ranked mode, how well you do might be very dependent on your spawn. I'm sure some spawns would be pretty different than others, but I will say, I think if this map were in friendly battles, you might be able to make some really cool mini games with this map, as every single area is totally different, so maybe you could do different things in each different area. This map would be a lot of fun, I feel like. I'm not entirely sure how balanced it would be since it's not very symmetrical. I feel like symmetrical maps are a little bit easier to balance. What about this one? War Star. Look at this. So it's very open, honestly. There's not much cover. Very few amount of walls, not a lot of cactus, a lot of bushes. I feel like this is a little bit like Island Invasion, but the opposite, where Island Invasion has all the grass on the outside and almost none in the middle. And this one is very much all in the middle, sort of like Feast or Famine, but way more. So this would be, late game would be crazy. Early game would be kind of difficult maybe, or it would just be totally different. I like these sort of maps. Like, I think Island Invasion is really fun, but I will say, one thing I don't like about Island Invasion is the variety of brawlers you get is not a lot. Like, at the top level gameplay, you almost need a bow. Well, you don't necessarily need one, but it's a lot easier. But I still think that map is pretty cool. Moving on, custom map, Thief's Refuge, a heist map. Look at this. I think this map looks really cool, but I already have a really, really big problem with this map. You know what this map reminds me of? A lot. GG Corral. Now, if you've seen my video on the worst map in Brawl Stars, you're going to see that it was GG Corral. And I have a really big problem with GG Corral because of how difficult it is to get to the safe. There's only one path, and it's a huge choke point. And honestly, this one is worse than GG Corral as far as that goes. This map looks really satisfying. Like, it's got a lake, there's different grass. But this would be the biggest stalemate map ever, probably. The one thing that is kind of cool about this map is the safes are in the corner, but this is definitely it would be the most defensive map in the game, and you probably wouldn't have many games where you actually destroy the safe. But, I mean, if you were looking for a different map, this would be that, but I think top level gameplay, this would be a really probably boring map, to be honest. No offense. Next on, Stone Pillars. Wow, look at this. This is a very simple map. Think about it. Obviously just a pillar in every single one, or a wall, I guess. Everything one is surrounded by a thing of grass. Now, there's not a continuous thing of grass, so if you're like a tank, you wouldn't be able to sneak around per se, but you could camp. And there's a lot of, if you think about it, a lot of small amount of cover, because you can just try and hide behind that, but if you're getting like double teamed, you would not be able to hide very well, which is fine. I think this would be an interesting map. I don't entirely know, like, I don't know. I would want to play this map before being able to judge where I think it would be, like, worth being in the game. But let me know what you think, too. I'm not into this. I feel like this one is kind of hard to judge, personally. It's interesting because there's a lot of small amounts of cover, which is what, to me, makes it different. So I don't know. Next up, Deja Vu, Choose Your Own Adventure. I think this is made by the same person who made that first map we talked about. And you can sort of tell by the style of it. Again, it's very different in every single part of the map. I mean, honestly, I like the different colors of grass. Especially with this, it's sort of satisfying to the eye. I mean, again, this would be another map I would probably not want to see in ranked. And, but might be fun in friendly battles. And I'm not sure how I feel about this area over here. I think you can see my mouse, where on the left with all the water, I don't like those really small, narrow channels like that. I think it would be difficult and annoying to go through, especially if you're like a mortise. I think it would be kind of annoying. But, you know, it could be really fun as well. I don't know. This is definitely a unique map for sure. Okay, you actually couldn't see my cursor, but I think you got what I was talking about there, probably. All right, moving on. This map is called Should This Map Get Added to the Game? What a great name. Let's find out. Okay. First impressions. Sort of like, I'm getting a Thousand Lakes feel. I don't know why, but I feel like it's similar to Thousand Lakes, and where you're just going to be constantly like running around the center of the map, and you're not really going to want to be... I don't know, but it does... I'm getting that Thousand Lakes feel. I'm not entirely sure why. I just feel like it has those areas that are grass in the... There's a lot of grass in the corners. All right, never mind. I don't know if I can back this up, but it does look pretty interesting. I think the definitely most interesting part is the middle, where there's a good amount of grass. I don't know how I feel about those, like, all those walls in the middle. It would make it interesting, though. I guess what would happen is it would make it a little bit easier to hide in those walls, unless, of course, a thrower is attacking you. Then they would get you right away, because there's not a lot of grass to dodge shots. But it would definitely be pretty interesting. You have to go through those choke points as well. And I think it's probably good that there's that lip on those walls there, so that way if someone's walking into the center, they can't be ganked right away. They can't be killed right away by someone who's hiding in those corners of the middle because of that little lip there. They have to go around that and then kill them. All right, maybe that's not that much time, but it might make a small difference as opposed to not having it, which they'd be able to get them right away. So, I don't know. It's pretty interesting. I'm not entirely sure what I feel about it. It looks pretty good, though. I mean, it definitely has a unique feel, so I would kind of want to see it in the game. And, you know, once you could play it, you'd really find out. A lot of showdown maps. I guess people really want to see showdown maps. I mean, definitely probably the most played mode. All right, so this one is called Cactus Remains. It's a spike theme map. Look at this. It's a lot of narrow passages I'm seeing. It looks like it would be really difficult to get to the middle of the map. Sort of like Hot Maze, except the mazy part is only in the very center. So early game might not be as annoying as Hot Maze might be, where there's very specific passageways and there's not a lot of room to escape. And you're seeing all the cactuses on the outside of the map, which will go away pretty fast. But I do think this would be really interesting. Again, I don't know if I like the middle a ton. I think it's a little bit too narrow to me late game. But maybe that's not that bad, because late game might end quicker with this really narrow passageways. It would be really hard to avoid people. You wouldn't have anywhere to go, and not as much places to hide. But what I feel like what that also means is a lot of times a higher elixir person is easier to win then. I don't know, but that's probably not a big deal, because that usually happens anyways. So I would like to see a little bit more room in the middle, maybe. I do feel like it's a little bit narrow, but maybe it's meant to be narrow too. I don't know. You'd have to play it and find out, eh? All right, next we got a heist map. Here's my heist map, Water Paradise, second version, more immune to Daryl's. All right, so looking at this, some people put like skeletons in the center, which doesn't really do anything, but I think it's fine. I don't know why I'm sort of harping on this, because it doesn't really impact it negatively or positively. I don't know, I just kind of wanted to bring that up. But yeah, this definitely would be really difficult for a Daryl to super to the safe. It would be really difficult. So how do you feel about that? Because it's what that means too is the choke points are really, really strong. You're seeing there's only 2 tile gaps for each choke point, and it would be kind of difficult to go through. Almost any brawler would be able to defend those choke points really well. And you're also seeing that grass in the middle to make it easier for even short-range brawlers to defend that middle or defend those choke points as well. So if you're trying to get damage on the safe, I guess one thing is a thrower can actually get there, can attack the safe from the center. you can see going through that grass section over here where that throwers can just walk in and throw to the safe. So I don't know if that's good or bad. I think that's, for this map, is probably good since it's making tanks less strong. You'd probably see a lot of team comps that are very range oriented. You'd probably see some Brocks and then a thrower and then maybe some sort of support brawler as well, or just another long range brawler to get more damage. Might be good as well. I don't know. I think it'd be fun to see. I never am like a huge fan of the really strong choke point ones, but at the same time, if you're trying to stop Daryl, this is a good way to do it, because what they're doing is they're staggering the walls, so no matter which way Daryl goes, like if you're going from here, which is probably the best place to go for a Daryl, you're going to go and you're probably going to hit this wall. Maybe, I don't know if you'd be able to somehow bounce off this wall and go to the safe. Probably not. That'd probably be too difficult. You'd probably hit this wall instead, but you'd end up like right around here, which is not nearly as good as other maps as a Daryl. So not a great Daryl map. You can break these walls, I guess, but you'd have to break both of them, and then you could go to the safe. And that would take 2 supers to break both of those walls. Maybe, unless you're a Shelly. Maybe a Shelly could break both those walls with 1 super, but I don't think so. Next up, we got a gem grab map. This is actually our first gem grab map we've seen today. And this one is called Gem Grab Mushroom Forest. So let's just call it Mushroom Forest. Alright. So I do like this. It's a little bit open, but I think that's fine. I kind of like that it's kind of open. And what's interesting about this too is there's that water. This water right here is making these clear choke points. You have to either go here or here. But I think that's fine because you can still hide here and you can shoot. So if someone is going to go around, you can still either defend your teammates from this section here who's going for the gems, or you can attack whoever's going for it, and you can use these walls as well, so it makes throwers slightly viable, or at least a place to hide. This is a good place to hide. There's not many places to hide on this side over here, so you would probably need some sort of long-range brawler, but at the same time, they're probably not going to have anyone attacking. This passageway is probably going to be really difficult to go down. You're probably going to see a lot of people have one person here, and then this person is probably going to really struggle, and they're going to just have to be a really long-range brawler who doesn't have to actually go up this, because it's probably going to be really difficult. It's just probably too long of a passageway. Maybe what you could do is take away this wall, like right here, one of these walls, and allow them to go back and forth a little bit easier, and that way this choke point isn't as big of a deal. Because right now, you're pretty much stuck here. You're not, like, if you'd want to go back and help your teammate over here, you're screwed. You basically have to go all the way up, and then you're probably facing someone else anyways. So you're not really going to be able to help out anyone over there, no matter what, if you're on this side of the map or this side of the map, for instance. So I do like this map, though. I think I like the feel of it. It would definitely be pretty different from the current gem grab maps. We got another heist map. Actually, I guess this is the first version of Water Paradise. So let's just review this really quickly, because it's really similar. I'm not seeing a lot of differences. Basically what I'm seeing is more walls. I think basically what it stopped is Daryl from being able to go all like this. Alright, let's keep going though. Version 2 of the Great Graveyard. I don't think we saw version 1. Maybe it was earlier. Look at this. A lot of skeletons. I always find skeletons kind of annoying, to be honest. So I don't really know if I like having skeletons everywhere, but I feel like as a map maker, it's really tempting to just keep putting skeletons because it just fills up space, I feel like. And it does add a small extra dimension, but I'm just not a big fan of the extra dimension, to be honest. All right, so this one, it's sort of like Thousand Lakes, the middle is. It has the lakes on the side and a big choke point on both sides. But the one difference is you can shoot a little bit easier at the people hiding in the middle, probably, except from the entranceways. So you'd only be able to shoot them if you're not going to enter. So that might be okay. It makes it a little bit easier to enter. One thing with Thousand Lakes is it's kind of hard to enter the center because you can easily shoot whoever is trying to enter. This one would be a little bit different. It would be a little bit harder to shoot people who are trying to enter. So it makes probably the center even less safe. It's safe in less safe in a different way. Yeah, the center would probably be not very safe at all. Because people would be able to enter really easily, and anyone who's not in the center, like shooting from the sides of the lakes over here, would be able to shoot you pretty easily no matter what. But I do like, it's pretty unique. You're seeing it mirrored on this side, and these sides look like they're mirrored as well. Definitely getting different feels. A little bit of grass, a little bit of walls, and some passageways, which I always think is good. Some cactuses. I think it would be a pretty unique map, and I don't see why not add this to the game. Come on, Superstar, here we go. All right, we got another gem grab map. This one, Forgotten Cave. So far, no Brawl Ball maps, one bounty map. Anyways, Forgotten Cave, a good amount of water, a lot of it in the spawn. I do not like those spawn points. Those are really awkward spawn points. You would be able to be spawn trapped a lot easier, probably. This map does look pretty spawn trappy. Anytime there's like a lot of grass close to the spawn, it makes it easier to spawn trap because those people who are invincible don't know where to shoot you. And there's also a good amount of walls right by the spawn too, which also makes it easier because then again, they can't use that invincibility as well. But moving on, this is kind of a cool map. It's not like too choke pointy. Definitely is. I feel like this is reminding me of one of the new maps from the last update. I think it's called, I'm going to get the name wrong here. I don't know if it's Forgotten Mine. I don't know, but I'm totally forgetting the name of that map. I don't know the names of the new maps very well, but it's reminding me of one of the new maps where it is sort of similar, but it doesn't have water, but it's really similar grass-wise and wall-wise, I feel like. This map is different because it has the water, but you're seeing really strong choke points. I don't like there's a one-tile passageway here. You could probably remove this mushroom really easily and fix that. One-tile passageways are really difficult to get through sometimes, as you need at least a 2 basically for it to be fine. Again, one-tile passageway, one-tile passageway, one-tile passageway. Good amount of one-tile passageways, so I'm not a fan of those, but you could fix those pretty easily, right? You just got to remove one wall. I do think it would be pretty interesting. I don't know, but it does sort of remind me of that one of the new maps in the game that was added as well. Okay, guys, that's all the time I have to go over maps. Let me know your favorite one down below. I think this one is mine. If you just remove that one wall, it would be great. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you later.